The Breakfast Club, bitches.
All right, Charlamagne, please tell me, why was I your donkey of the day?
Well, Donkey of the Day for Wednesday, March 2nd goes to this brother that called in the Donkey of the Day screaming at us this morning because we asked a simple question based off something we hear about all the time. We've been hearing about it our whole lives. And Tupac summed it up in one bar. They got money for war but can't feed the poor. Let's listen to President Joe Biden last night from the State of the Union talk about the financial aid he wants to provide in Ukraine.
We're providing support to the Ukrainians in their fight for freedom. Military assistance, economic assistance, humanitarian assistance. We're giving more than $1 billion of direct assistance to Ukraine, and will continue to aid the Ukrainian people as they defend their country and help ease their suffering.
Now, I said this at the end of the show one day this week, and I'll say it again now. When you hear America, and the reason I say America is because it's not just the current president in the White House, President Biden. It's been every president since I've been alive. When you hear America say things like they want to send billions of dollars, okay, to Ukraine or any war, all right, yet people in America are starving. You cannot help but ask, how come they can't ever find money to give to people here in America that are in need? Nobody is saying don't help Ukraine, but if you are one of the 30-plus million people living below the poverty rate in America, you're going to ask, what about us? All right, if you're one of the 44.7 million people in student loan debt, wondering what happened to the $10,000 people in student loan debt was supposed to get, you have to ask, what about us? If you're one of the 107,000 plus veterans who are homeless on any given night in America, you have to ask, what about us? Now, in reference to that what about us sentiment, this brother called up here this morning and said this.
Yo, it drives me crazy when people say nonsense like we got billions of dollars to give to Ukraine, but we don't have money to give people here. Imagine you live in the hood, right? And you're a multimillionaire. Then nobody else has power. It's freezing outside. You got a generator. You got a walk-in freezer with a whole bunch of food. What you think the goon's going to do? They coming to get your food, bro. They're small-minded thinking we help weaker countries so they don't come here to get what we got because we got extra. What you think the goon's going to do?
They're going to come get you. And you just said they're going to come get you. But then you just said that's exactly what weaker countries would do to us, too, if we don't provide for them. So your logic makes no sense.
That's exactly what I said.
Dude said we have to help the people in Ukraine because if not, they will come over here and take what we got. But so will people over here in America who are financially challenged. So if that logic applies to Ukraine, why doesn't it apply to folks here in America who are in financial need? I promise you, and I can say this without any statistics to back it up, Americans that live here in America are more likely to be robbed by another American in need right here in America than they are by somebody coming from another country and taking what we got. All right? The 78-year-old woman who got robbed while praying in church in Tennessee didn't get robbed by folks from Ukraine, bro. Oh, you heard me right. 78-year-old woman was praying in church, and two women approached her asking for prayers as well. And I guess in their mind, God answered, because while they were praying, a second woman went into the victim's purse and stole credit cards, gift cards, and cash. Guess where the thieves tried to use the credit cards after they stole them? Sam's Club and Kroger's. Okay? That's how hungry people are right now. Inflation is the highest it's been in 40 years. All right? That man said we have to, give money to other countries in times of war because if not, those people will come over and rob us. Well, the Girl Scouts in Carlisle, Iowa, who were selling cookies in front of a supermarket didn't get robbed by some folks who came over here from Ukraine. Those Girl Scouts were doing what they do out there with their lemon ups and their Girl Scout s'mores. Okay, Thin Mints are my favorite. You know I'm gonna buy me 2 boxes of Thin Mints, hand them a 20 and tell them keep the change. But those young ladies were robbed of $200. Okay, a guy came up, acted like he was going to buy cookies, and then he snatched the donation box and ran. $200. You know why? Because people don't need you to be rich to rob you. They just need you to have more than they got. All right? In a country where 61% of the population lives paycheck to paycheck and millions of Americans are only $400 away from financial hardship, don't be mad or upset or shocked when people see all this money going to other countries, but right here in America, people are starving and they start asking questions, okay? In the words of the late, great Tupac Shakur, they got money for war but can't feed the poor. It's just strange to listen to them have to beg for things for American people who aren't financially healthy. We have watched the Build Back Better plan get blocked. President Biden wants to pass a $1.5 to $2 trillion spending package that would lower costs for most Americans. Okay? Of course that gets blocked. Anything that could help poor Americans gets blocked. But when it comes to war, other countries get blessed. Okay? I think they said $6.4 billion. They want to send to Ukraine. I know 6.4 billion isn't nowhere near a couple of trillion, but you understand the point. They find the money when they want to find the money. But the reality is America historically hasn't given a damn about poor people. And that's why poor people see this money going to other countries and ask, what about us? And to the caller who is receiving Donkey today, I wish he had left his name, but he just called screaming. I really need him to understand this message. I actually think that caller might have been a Russian bot, because there is no way you can understand why we have to give Ukraine money, but not understand why people who are in financial need in this country need bread too. And you can't be mad about them asking simply, what about us? You really wondering why people are asking why we got money for war but can't feed the poor? You know, let's go back to the book of two prophets, Shakur. Okay, he explained what will happen if you keep neglecting your own. That caller said the same thing basically, but I like the way Pac said it too. It's much better. Listen.
If I know that in this hotel room they have food every day, and I'm knocking on the door every day to eat, and they open the door, let me see the party, let me see like them throwing salami all over just like throwing food around, but they're telling me there's no food in here. You know what I'm saying? Every day, I'm standing outside trying to sing my way in. You know what I'm saying? We are hungry, please let us in. We are hungry, please let us in. After about a week, that song is going to change to, we hungry, we need some food. After 2-3 weeks, it's like, you know, give me all the food, breaking out the door. And after a year, and you just like, you know what I'm saying, I'm picking the lock, coming through the door, blasting, you know what I'm saying? It's like you hungry, you reached your level, you don't want any more. We asked 10 years ago. We was asking with the Panthers. We was asking with them, you know, with civil rights movement. We was asking, you know, now those people that were asking, they're all dead and in jail. So now what do you think we're going to do?
Please give anyone who doesn't understand why a person in financial need in America would ask or question why they got so much money for war but can't feed the poor the biggest hee-haw. Matter of fact, let Remy Ma give him the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw, you stupid motherfucker, are you dumb?
Like how aggressive she said it. Donkey of the Day is brought to you by the law office of Michael S. Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say the bull if you've been hurt in a construction accident. That's pound 250 from your cell and say the bull.